there, I'm author Sarah A. Chrisman, and this is my husband Gabriel, and today we're going to talk about narrative. So a lot of the time we think of narrative in terms of stories, and especially in terms of books. But narrative is equally important in any sort of human communication. And what a narrative is, in a nutshell, is that whatever you're trying to express has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's not just a scattershot of random ideas with no connections between them. Your ideas should be connected, and they should have transitions that are logical. And this is part of what makes us human. This is part of what differentiates us from different animals, because there are lots of other animals that do the things humans do. Beavers change their environment in radical ways. Sea otters use tools. But humans are the only animals that have this concept of narrative and this concept of stories.
And it's part of what is unique in terms of giving things meaning. That actually realizing that you see this thing happening, or you see something in the world and you want to connect it to other things. And that narrative and story is what creates the connection, and it gives these objects and these events meaning.
And even if you're not necessarily telling a classic story in the terms of a fiction story that you're writing down, or in the terms of an anecdote that you're telling to your friends, even if you're just trying to make a point and convince someone of something, anything, you should have a concrete introduction, a concrete body of facts that you're going to support that introduction with, and then a conclusion at the end where you wrap it all up. It shouldn't just be a shotgun effect of opinion, insult.
It's a linear process.
It's a linear process.
And that also is what gives a lot of good communication its quality, essentially, is that whether you're talking fiction or nonfiction, if you're trying to communicate something to people, having that linear process so that you can understand the course of thought, the reasons for things, and build up an argument, it's something that is, again, uniquely human, and that is also the hallmark of effective communication in any particular genre or format.
Yeah. I've been told by a lot of different people that they find my books very readable, and it actually took me a while to work out why they were telling me that, because I write the way I speak. I just think of things in those terms, and I didn't understand why they were telling me it was so easy to read until I started paying attention to some books that have come out in the last few years, and also just the way people have started speaking in the last few years. It really has changed. It seems like people are losing their narratives. I was recently at a community event where someone just stood up in front of the group and shouted a lot of hyperbole and shouted a lot of buzzwords, but never actually made a point. And there were really no complete sentences involved, and certainly not a complete narrative idea. And it was after she went back to her seat that I realized, okay, yeah, I guess compared to that, my stories would be a little easier to understand. And so I guess we're doing a call out today to tell people to have more narrative in your life, even if you're just talking to people.
And even if you're just thinking about your own life and your own story. Everyone's internal story and narrative is what gives their life meaning and purpose. And that's something that I think is really important in terms of generating happiness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, remember your narratives, whether you're writing or just living out your life and conversing with other humans. And don't forget to read my books. Happy reading!